Hello, Grace Baptist Church. Another update video. Just want to let you know some of the things that are happening for this coming Sunday, October the 4th. First, it's not going to be outdoors. We had hoped because of some of the easing of restrictions that are supposedly coming on Thursday, October the 1st, that we might be able to have a final outdoor service before the end of the year. And yet, in talking to the leadership, we realized that the temperature is probably going to be too low for us to be able to do that. And so we're going to indeed be inside. There are some changes coming, though. First of all, there'll be more people able to be in the auditorium. There's been a lot of demand for seats, and so we want to make sure that we can meet that demand. And so instead of being 12 feet apart, we're now going to be 6 feet apart here in the auditorium in two separate cohorts, and a little bit more on that just in a moment. That also means that as we sing, because we're only 6 feet apart, we are going to need to wear masks. We realize that this is an inconvenience, but we think the benefits of having more people in the auditorium far outweigh that, and so we would love to have you out for that service. We have some Grace Baptist masks that we have gotten, and so if you want to purchase one of those for $10, you certainly can. We also have some disposable masks that we'll be able to provide for you as you enter on Sunday morning, and we look forward to making a joyful noise unto the Lord, even from behind a mask. And so when you go on to Eventbrite to book your tickets on gracepei.com, right on the main page, in that main banner, you get your seats as you normally have done. When you go to Eventbrite, you'll see a few changes. You'll see two zones, purple and gray, and then the foyer seats as they have been. The purple zone is on the left-hand side of the auditorium as you're looking at the platform, and the gray zone is on the right-hand side of the auditorium as you're looking at the platform. And if you're in the booking seats in the gray zone, there'll be 50 seats in each zone, and then about 30 now in the foyer because we can have more seating because of the less of a gap, I guess, between the seats. So if you're booking in the gray zone, you'll come in the main church entrance. You'll come into your zone to the overflow doors as you have been entering and exiting the auditorium up until this point. And then when you're after service, you'll then go back out through the main doors. As you come in the main church doors, please go on the right-hand side and then exit again on the same side, which will now be on your left. That's to avoid mixing with the other cohorts. In the auditorium, there'll be a 12-foot aisle that'll be sort of separating the two cohorts, and so please stay in the section that you booked tickets in. For those in the foyer, you'll also come in the main church entrance. You'll enter on the left, and then you'll be seated right there in the foyer, and then as you exit, you'll just go out on the right through the wedge, the front doors there, and that way those two cohorts won't mix or mingle either. If you book in the purple zone, you will park in the main parking lot as you normally do, but then you'll come in through the main school entrance. You'll then go through the atrium, somebody will there to check you in, and then you'll come in through the side auditorium door, the small glass door on the side of the auditorium. That'll be your entrance and your exit out of your zone. And then again, as you exit, you'll go back out through the main school entrance. Foyer, your bathrooms, as well as the gray zone, will be the single-use family bathroom and the two bathrooms on the church end. And in the purple zone, you'll go in and out of the side door and down to the high school bathrooms if you need to use the facilities during the service. And so we're hoping then that we can have 45 to 50 people on each of the two cohorts, each of the two zones inside the auditorium, and then up to 30 or even more out in the foyer. So we're hoping to have about 120 seats available for each of the two services at 9 and then again at 11. And so that gives us the opportunity to gather with about 240 people, which is basically what we were before COVID. A few less seats than we had available, but we are looking forward to that. So that starts this Sunday, October the 4th. Also this Sunday, October the 4th, is our baby dedication, our child family dedication. We have two families that have come forward to dedicate their children unto the Lord and dedicate themselves to the raising of those children. And so we look forward to that. That'll be in the 11 a.m. service only. We don't want to do it twice. And that's the service that we live stream, so we're looking forward to that. So as you book your seats, bear that in mind. But we'd still love to have the 9 a.m. service full as well. And then what we also want to let you know is on that evening, so this coming Sunday night at 6:30 p.m. is our annual general meeting. You should already have your reports, your annual reports. If you're a member, they should have been emailed to you. If you have not received one, please let the office ladies know. Office@gracepei.com or office at gcspei.ca, or you can simply call the church office and they'll be happy to help you with those annual reports. If you want a hard copy, then certainly they can print that off and make that available to you as well. Just before the annual general meeting then at 5:30 p.m., we'd love to have anyone and everyone, all the members who want to come together and pray. We're going to have a time of prayer before the annual general meeting. Certainly this year has been difficult, both spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, and also financially for us as a church. And so we would love to have everyone come together who wants to, early for that meeting, gather together and just have a time of prayer together before our annual general meeting on October the 4th. One last thing to note, through the month of October, as we move to more numbers in the auditorium during services, we are looking at going back to our Kingdom Kids, having our children's church program come back up and running. But we're going to wait for about a month just to see how things work. And so our scheduled target date is Sunday, November the 1st. But as you book your tickets, if you could please be thinking, families with young children, if you could book your seats in the purple zone, that would be on the left-hand side of the auditorium as you're looking at the platform. Because we don't want children to cross cohorts as they go downstairs for Kingdom Kids. How that's going to work is you'll come in as a family as normal, sit together as a family, check in as a family for the first part of the service, and then after the singing and just before I preach, we'll gather the children up to the front, or we'll just sort of pause, pray for them, and then dismiss them down to the Kingdom Kids program downstairs. And so in order to have them not come from the gray zone or the foyer and cross cohorts, in order to do that, if you're a family with Kingdom Kids age kids, that's from kindergarten up to grade 4, we would love you to book in the purple zone so that those children, as they are dismissed, won't cross any cohorts on their way down to Kingdom Kids. Down there, they'll watch the video. The video is still going to be produced. We understand there are some children that have not been able to get back to our services in person, and so we're still going to produce that video, so the teachers will show that video to the kids then, and then do some other activities with them just for the second half of the service, and that'll be available at both the 9 and the 11 a.m. Services. Grace Baptist, thank you so much for your prayers, for your patience. We do not want to be a church divided. We don't like the reality of having to have 2 services on a Sunday morning. It's not what we would wish for. But we are grateful that starting this Sunday, we can have more people in the auditorium, more people gathered together. Thank you so much for those that have been coming out. And we know now that we're back into a bit of a normal routine. More people want to come. And so please book your seats. It is wonderful to be able to gather together again. We are a people gathered to share with each other, to hear the Word of God preached and sung and prayed and read, and to do that corporately and collectively. And so we are excited to have more people then be able to gather in those 2 services, and we're going to see what God has for us as we continue to move ahead. So thank you so much, Grace Baptist. And so please head on over to the website, gracepei.com. If you have any other questions, please reach out to one of the ladies in the office. They would love to answer those questions for you or point you to somebody who can. So thank you so much, Grace Baptist.